servants for you and servants for the city. God, I just pray as we have the meeting tonight, it will go as planned. And Lord, let us be here for the reason of the people. And God, thank you for the election today, and whoever wins or loses, just be with them, God, and direct the winners to lead our country, our state, our cities into where you want us to be. And Father, we just thank you for this evening in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
I'd like to recognize the guests this evening. Thank you for coming out. We appreciate everybody that wants to get involved and hear what's going on in the city. At this time, we need to take a look, the council does, at the agenda and add or subject to additions or deletions by council.
I'd like to add about the recycle bin.
I'd like to add a vote on the Operation Honor banners. And also questions to Alex about the AG letter.
Anyone else? Okay, I need a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll make a motion.
I second.
Do a roll call here in just a second. I missed one thing in my prayer tonight. Keep our clerk, Megan Simpson, she has surgery in the morning on her foot. And just keep her in her prayers because she's a big asset to this city.
Danny,
Yes, you are.
Todd,
Yes.
Early,
Yes.
Paul, yes. Joe,
Yes.
Jennifer.
Yes.
At this time, we have the presentation of the minutes. Minutes of the regular meeting from October 1st, 2019 is ready for approval at this time, subject to any deletions, additions, or corrections.
On page 3, the third statement down, council decided to table the curfew ordinance. I don't remember doing that. I thought we were good to go on that, on the first reading and ready for the second.
Was we deciding on the fees? Is that what we, did you guys
I
email
cannot-
Alex on the
I thought we
curfew?
were ready to go with it too.
We'll wait for Alex to get back in here and see if he's got that ready.
We do have a copy for the first reading tonight. We just didn't have it ready for that meeting.
I don't know if I'm going out of order, but on the last page of the minutes, a motion, when we close out a meeting, you always get a first and a second, and then motion carried by all. I think we need to do a vote to make sure that it carries by all, in case anybody else has something to say. Because on page 2, no, on page 1, second paragraph from the bottom, Councilman Todd Roberts feels that the minutes, a roll call should be taken on the adjournment of the meeting. So we get our first and second, and in case somebody else has something to say, it's too late, we're walking out. So we can do a roll call at the end, or make a vote to see if we can do a roll call on the end.
We'll keep that at first and second motion.
How do you determine that motion carried all yes?
I don't know why that's on there.
Because
Anything
we
else?
get, well, if somebody's not through talking.
We're not voting on something, we're adjourning the meeting.
We're voting to see if we want to adjourn or if somebody else has something to
After
say.
we go through the agenda, it's over. You see what I'm saying? Add to your agenda beforehand.
I will remember that.
Thank you.
Does that include the audience when they want to say something too? We say, too bad, we first and second and it's over?
At the end, the audience can ask questions and anything they want to respond. The council meetings are a little bit different, guys. I know the work meeting, we just kind of throw stuff out there and talk with each other. Let the council ask you a question if they need to do so in order to come up with a vote or have a question about the fire department, the police department, and so forth. But as far as any questions, just for the council, keep those at the end.
On page 3, last paragraph, I asked for an explanation of the amendment to the budget, and it was breaking down. I can't remember what the increase of the 4,200 in administrative fees were.
We didn't change the, are we on
No, we're not on it now. We're on agenda. Okay. Danny, Attorney Alex has advised that he made the changes that people had asked for the curfew ordinance.
Okay? I can't remember what those were, so we're good to go on the first reading, so all we have to do is go for a second reading now, or?
Well, maybe if I could, I'll pass out a copy. The only suggestions I got on the curfew were from Jennifer. We changed the time and we reduced the penalty for the first time. We've reduced it down. So those are the only changes I did here. Of course, you guys can make changes at the next vote. I mean, whatever you need to do, if it's not substantive in nature, but that's the only changes that I did have. So I've got that here, and what I did is, I've underlined it, so you guys can see and crossed out where the changes are. That way it'll be a little easier for you guys to review.
Thank you.
You're right, it's Jennifer's suggestion, so.
Well, I'd like to clarify that I didn't ask that the time be changed, I just said need to be consistent.
Right,
Yeah.
right, I'm sorry, that's right. So it went from, I had the two wrong. I had one at 1 o'clock and then one at 12, so it just went back to 12. But this is just the first reading, so if you guys have a discussion amongst yourselves, and if there's anything to change, just email me. But it would definitely behoove you to kind of read through it and see what you guys think. I mean, not now, but between now and the next time, or in between. So if somebody wants to introduce the ordinance.
I think we skipped down, didn't we?
We're
we
not
were on
ready yet.
minutes.
Yeah, we're not ready
I'm
yet.
sorry.
Anybody else to?
Danny just had a question about the curfew.
Oh, okay.
That's what it was,
Oh.
in the minutes, that's what it was.
Gotcha.
Because in the minutes, I put in there that the council decided to table it because it wasn't ready.
And the $4,200 on the amended budget for administrative fees were for what? I forgot.
That was the breakdown. There was a shortage on the salaries of the clerk for $750, on the maintenance man for $733. Then we put extra money in there since I was gonna be off for Donna. I can give you this paper and Jamie. I gave you this paper.
Okay. That's not, nothing to do with the computers.
No, this is, I just put that on there right here for the salaries.
Okay.
Do we have a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make a motion.
I need a second. Nobody?
Arlene, anybody?
we'll move on.
I wasn't here, I can't second.
I'm sorry.
I think Erling was
Motion a second minutes.
I didn't hear.
Or Joe said.
there. We need a second, we need a motion to approve the minutes tonight.
A second.
Danny,
Okay,
Todd,
Yes.
Early,
Yes.
Paula,
Yes.
Joe,
I wasn't here for the meeting, so I don't think I can vote.
abstain.
Jennifer,
Yes.
Ready? This time we have the treasurer's report for the month of October 2019. It is ready for approval at this time, subject to any corrections.
Treasurer's report for November the 5th, 2019. The general fund was $4,054, $454,774.65. Municipal road aid was $34,810.03. Certificate of deposits were $2,898,316.05. Y'all have checks before you. If you have any questions, I'll be more than glad to answer.
What is RIC protection on those days?
That is for the cameras.
Was that for purchase of the cameras or monitoring?
What's the date on
10
It's purchased, the one in the hallway, entryway, the lobby.
What was the, I'd like to ask on 1016, a payment of $100 to Joe Taylor, what was that for?
That was, we had to send him a questionnaire, or the auditor sent him a letter wanting a statement from him that we did not owe him any money since he was attorney for the first half of the year, and he charged us to send that letter.
Are you serious?
Megan, the 3rd of October, there was an entry there's an acronym, EFTPS. I just don't know what that is.
Those are for the federal payroll taxes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Is there any overtime paid on any of the salaries?
No, there was none.
Okay. Thank you.
October 10th, Millennium Business.
That is for the copier.
They do the maintenance on it once a month.
They do the maintenance, the toner, but we're only charged quarterly for that.
Okay.
And it's based on copies.
I'll try to remember that's on your next thing.
Maybe I sent you an email asking for some documentation on these. Did you get that email?
Yes, I did.
Okay,
I'll have to give it to you.
okay, that'd be fine.
October the 3rd, Lori Best, $300 for a luncheon.
That was for the governor.
You all fed him?
He
Yeah.
approved $121,000.
First time he's ever came.
First, last time maybe,
Next time we won't be.
but you'll be.
He'll be back.
100 and some thousand, I don't get at least below sandwich.
October 24th, Walter Glover, $544.
That's our code enforcement officer.
Is he getting paid by the hour or is he getting paid a salary?
Salary.
So what day did he start?
15. Is it 15?
Well, October.
October.
Excuse me?
October 15.
And he just can't work over how many hours?
99.
But he can work as much as 1 hour because he's salary and still get paid?
That's not gonna happen.
Is that a one-time payment for the month?
Yes. That's, well, he gets paid every 2 weeks, that's how they had it set up. So that would have been,
So, but you still.
yeah, that was only one time in October.
So no matter how many hours he works, he's getting paid a salary.
That's what she said.
That's what the ordinance reads, it's what you passed, he gets a salary.
No, that's not what it said.
Yes.
We passed an amount, we thought it was gonna be an hourly salary.
No,
We'll see if we can get some help on getting that correct.
we'll get that ordinance out. He's been hired under that ordinance, so you guys.
October 30th, Calibre Engineering.
That is for the Oakwood Drive project.
Now, do the people, when they do the bids, do they have to go by what he recommends?
He's doing the design work, so, and his scope was to provide a design package that we could put a cover letter on to competitively bid. So we ought to get a complete package and design with just a cover letter from the mayor that can go out and receive competitive bids. That's how complete it should be.
We're waiting on that easement. Alex?
How much have we paid him?
Can I make a guess at that? The contract was for $10,000 for the total design package, and as I recall, we paid him like $9,000 through the survey period, and this is incremental. This should be almost the end of that contract, but he hasn't exceeded the contract yet. I've been trying to add those numbers up, so that's my recollection without having the pieces of paper from this from memory. So, is that close to yours, Mary?
Did he produce anything yet?
But Danny, I agree with you, we need to get it competitively bid, once we get the design complete. It's this close.
Absolutely, he's gonna write up a notation for the paper, Joe, and he's gonna write that out for us, actually. We'll put it in the paper and we'll get bids for that.
So whoever does it is gonna do it the way he designed it, says it has to be done?
Yes, it has to go by that scope according to the State Department.
If something goes wrong, since it was our engineer, are we gonna be responsible?
We're completing the design, that you've hired a guy that's audited and insured as a
Okay,
registered
he's audited,
professional engineer.
thank you, thank you.
I don't think we could get any better, but there's always the risk of something going wrong, because it's based on the drawings, the topographical maps that he has in the easements. And the easement's not done, so the design can't be done, so the package can't be finished, so we can't bid it yet. We're close.
Good.
Can I say something about this contract sweepers?
Yes.
I saw them going over the bridge the other day, doing about 45 miles an hour. They didn't even have the brooms down.
I agree, but I don't think they're doing
I
a
don't
good
think
job.
they're doing their job.
They might have been finished and going home, because they turn around in my driveway and it's clean as can be.
Did you notice,
It's only striped the concrete clean in Crittenden.
did you notice the gravel picked up off the bridge? Anybody?
I did not notice
Okay.
that.
Turn around and turn here.
So I said, on the treasurer's report on the front cover, $454,000. And then you turn to page number, I guess number 3 at the bottom. It says balance on the same date, $453,000.
It was a typo, Dan.
Okay,
Sorry.
no, you're fine. It's easier to ask. My mama said it's easier to ask.
So is it supposed to be 454?
Yes. That's right.
Now, on the treasurer's report, we don't ask any questions about the budget, or do we ask questions about the budget later on?
The auditor will be here at the December meeting, and you can maybe jot down some questions for them when they come in and go over everything for the yearly CPA report.
But they'll be able to tell us how much we spent already on beautification and what the balance is, and how much we spent on computers?
Well, we should be able to pull that, Danny.
That's on here then.
Okay,
Beautification is the top of page 2, Danny.
so we still have $1,000?
Well, I'm sorry, that's the wrong page, that was for revenue.
There is a beautification for page 2, can you explain that one to me? You're right, that's what I was gonna ask too.
That one is 0. We had to make that account when the sign was hit, because we got a check from the insurance company to repair that, so it had to go in as beautification income.
Okay,
So it's just carried in the book, but there's no income that goes in there. Beautification's on page 3, down to the bottom.
and we still have $1,000 in the budget
As of now, but I think we.
on the year-to-date reminder.
Yeah, yes. I think you all did some stuff for the sign and stuff.
Yeah, we
this
spent
month.
maybe, what's on there, what,
It was-
$139?
It was the next month. so.
Okay, it's for next month, so. Anyone else?
So, I'm a little bit confused on the treasurer's report for, like, under Joe Taylor, it says split. So what line item does that get paid out of?
That was out of legal fees.
So, yeah, I'm not sure which line item these are getting paid out of again.
The legal fee line item, there is some left over, am I right, Megan, due to the resignation of Pete Whaley?
Let me find it for you, John.
No, that's not under, that's under, the, city, the council attorney. I don't
It
think
went
we can
under
use that.
604.2 under professional fees.
So it's under professional fees?
Yes.
Okay.
Which is under professional fees, it falls under the legal part.
Okay. But as far as I know, that money for our attorney is there in case we want to hire another attorney. It cannot be used for any other city business.
And you'll see that on the last page that I gave you, Jennifer. It's the very last thing, legal services for city council.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you, Frank.
There's 7725 left for that.
Yes.
And Alex, I would like to say that I appreciate your responsiveness when I've been asking for things on behalf of the council. I speak for myself.
Anyone else?
Megan, I'm still a little confused about the land cleanup. There's no money budgeted in this fiscal year for that. It was in last fiscal year, so how are you handling that?
I haven't got the total of it yet because I haven't got it from the auditors yet. I'm waiting on that before I put it in there.
So you'll be putting it under last fiscal year's budget, or will we have to do a budget amendment for this year for that?
Because we budgeted for 150,000, correct?
That was under the previous fiscal year. We didn't budget anything for this fiscal year,
You didn't
so.
hear it?
Because you all said you were gonna carry it over.
No, I don't think it was ever addressed. I never saw it. It wasn't on your all's proposal, and it was not on our proposal because we didn't know anything, we didn't know how you were handling it.
Did council vote to clean that up? Are you talking about Dwayne Wilson or JD?
The 150,000 for Wilson to tear it up, I think, which Jennifer.
That was already.
You didn't pay that until July 1, right?
But it came out of the June.
And we were nowhere close to 150, we were like just a little over half.
But I don't think you paid that in the last fiscal year, did you make it?
No, that was paid after the first of the year, so
So we're
that,
probably gonna have to do an amendment to the budget for that.
But that would be a partial, Megan, that would be a partial payment, not a total payment for this year?
Which one?
Okay. A partial payment was made out of last year's budget, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so the remainder of that has to be paid out of this fiscal year, correct?
well, it depends on how the auditors handle it, because they knew, since that bill, we knew the bill was coming before
Right.
the date. Sometimes when we have to pay it afterwards, they'll go back and adjust the books to reflect it in last year's budget.
That's what I was asking,
Yeah.
because I thought that's what you told us before, and that's why we didn't put it in this fiscal
Yes.
year, that y'all were gonna go back and adjust it on the old.
In order to do that, you have to accrue those funds for that fraction in advance. My point is, if the auditors didn't accrue that money, it's vapor, I mean, following generally accepted accounting practices, that money would have to be accrued in advance if it's unspent.
Yeah.
It sounds like we need to do some homework. Why don't we get past that? There's enough year left to figure it out, but
Yeah, I think you actually wrote the check in July or August, the last check, I can't remember. So that's what, later, after I realized what happened, I wondered how you were handling that, because there was no line item for it. And I just thought the accountant was advising you on it, but I never did hear.
We'll call the auditor and, see where they put that. Put that.
So I don't feel real comfortable in approving this financial report until we get that settled.
That's perfectly fine.
Where did the overage, is that absorbed back into last year's budget, or did that get absorbed into this year's budget for the work at Tool?
That's a question that we can ask the auditors, because they're more up to date on that than I am,
So it's still out there?
so.
Okay.
So Jennifer, you're asking to table the,
Yes, I think that would be prudent.
I need a second.
Second.
Dingity,
Table or approve the budget, is that what you're
the
asking?
table.
Yes.
Todd,
Yes.
Early,
Yes.
Paula,
Yes.
Joe,
yes.
Jennifer.
Yes.
Moving on to old business, the second reading of the ordinance 278, 2019, short-term rentals.
And Council, there were no changes, there were no suggested changes, obviously, so it's as it was before, with the exception of some grammatical and some spelling issues. I'm gonna bill Pete for that. Other than that, it's ready for passage if you guys are so inclined.
Just for the headlines, what were the changes? I remember the two I had in there about construction debris and the size of the fire pit. What else did we have?
Well, that was actually, a lot of that is in the nuisance code as well. You wanted that changed there,
Right,
too.
but I'm talking about as far as.
That's it.
Okay,
No other substantive changes.
you're correct, I stand correct. Peace,
Peace.
yeah.
Sorry.
Peace,
12
I've
12
been
and a half,
sick.
12 and a half. Yeah, no problem. Just a summary, whoever's gonna, yeah, whoever, is there a motion? I mean,
Make a motion to accept it.
I'll
Second.
say, go for it, I just want to move
Yeah,
along.
the other, me too.
Read the heading, and that's enough.
Alex.
Right here. Just read the summary.
Ordinance 278, 2019, it's an ordinance relating to the Grant County, City of Crittenden, Grant County, Kentucky, authorizing, relating to peer-to-peer short-term rentals. So we're gonna add it to the current zoning ordinance for the City of Crittenden. In this ordinance, they have set forth definitions for the short-term rentals. They have also set annual registration requirements and fees. They have made a compliance with all federal and state and local laws and regulations. And then they've listed a section on duties for the host. We also have a section regarding enforcement of the short-term rentals ordinance provisions for severe penalties. Is that all you need?
An expiration and renewal of the permit.
Yes. So this is the second reading, and we had a motion by Todd Roberts, second by Joe Dusing. So I'll do a roll call. Annie?
Yes.
Todd?
Yes.
Arlene?
Yes.
Paula?
Yes,
Joe?
Yes.
Jennifer?
Yes.
Old business, second reading of ordinance 279, 2019, the budget amendment. I don't know what's in your paperwork.
We received that last.
Okay. We really aren't ready to amend the budget on the Oakwood Drive until we get there.
Can I back up and ask one question? There seemed to be a sense of urgency about the one we just passed, the short-term rental agreement. We're gonna follow the usual protocol, or is there any advance, hey, this has been approved, and to the 2 or 3 property owners that showed a big interest and came here?
We can maybe make an announcement on that, and I know Ashley Gordon, and I know the Eldridges, and was there one other one in town?
You probably already said that.
That's your plan.
Doyle came.
Okay.
Dolphin. Yeah, we'll get in touch with them. Okay, is everybody ready for the budget amendment?